John, I guess you want to go as far as you can in the League Cup. You beaten in the first round last year, so par for the course, you want to get through.
Yeah, well, we've gone one better than last year, haven't we? Even though it was like a preliminary round, so that's the way I look at it. Hopefully we can get through tomorrow, yeah, so it's going to be a tough ask, but you know, Peterborough a good side, so we'll try our best.
On reflection, was that game against Oldham, I know it was an extra game, but was it good for you, given that you won and you got to see a few of the sort of fringe players play?
Yeah, I think so, Adam, yeah, because that's what it's for, isn't it? So, you know, you work on in the pre-season games and then the season starts and you know, you get an extra game, you know, and we had to play it. So it's a game that you want to set yourself up, you want to go and win. And it was an opportunity for us, as you just said there, to have a look at our other players. You know, it's a good squad, and give them an opportunity to go and take the chance, and some of them proved that they're more than capable of doing it.
There's huge incentives, isn't there, for you guys and the players to get through, because the more you get through, the more exposure you get. Obviously what happened in the FA Cup last year, you must see that again this time.
Well, that's the cup, whichever cup it is, League Cup or FA Cup, gives you that opportunity, doesn't it? So you have to win the game. You've got to have a squad strong enough to be able to compete on all levels. So, you know, we've got the squad that we've got, it gets stretched, and it will get stretched. And then you've got to sort of try and add to that, so you've still got a bit of time to do that within the window.
You're playing Peterborough. Obviously, Stanley are no stranger to playing Peterborough. There's been some quite memorable games over the years, some in a bad way for Accrington, unfortunately. What do you expect from them? They've lost a couple of decent players over the summer, Mothersill, Poku. What do you think?
Well, a good side. I've watched the two games against Cardiff, against Luton. So they play a certain way. You know, they can mix it up. They play really good football. They can go long. They're competent in doing both. And I've had two tough challenges against Cardiff and against Luton. So, you know, we know what the challenge is. We'll pick a side and we'll go toe-to-toe with them and see how it is. So, but they're a good team. But Adam Ferguson always sets his team up really well. And you've touched on all the good stuff and all on the negative stuff as well. So, you know, we know what's coming. And we'll be at it.
There can't be many managers who've managed more, current managers that have managed more in the Football League than Darren Ferguson in the 4 spells he's had. How do you see him?
He's a good manager, isn't he? It speaks for itself. You know, as I said, I think they retained the Virtue Trophy. So I think they're the first club to do that. So he's a really, really good manager, and he's got a great track record. And as I said, he's always had good teams, and we've come across him a load of time as a coach and now as a manager, if you like. So I know what's coming, and the lads, and we'll go through that this morning.
How much will you adjust your team selection? It's an obvious question at this time, and with these rounds, managers do change. Look at fringe players. Will you do the same?
Well, we've done it against Oldham. So basically, I just mentioned about the size of the squad. So. We'll have to go speak to the medical in a sec, see what little niggles that we've got maybe potentially from Saturday, and then we'll go accordingly. But as I said, them lads that played against Oldham showed that they can step up.
You've started with Michael Kelly in the league games. Ollie Wright started in the Oldham game. What's your thinking there with the goalkeepers? Is that number one position open for both of them, or will you play Michael Kelly in the league and Wright in the cup?
All positions are open, Adam. It doesn't matter if it's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, whatever position you want to speak. You can talk about strikers. So, you know, the beauty of having 4 top strikers when you're at the top end is that if they're not scoring goals, not assisting, or they're not contributing, then the other 2 play, or vice versa. So at the minute, you've got to start with someone in the first league game of the season. We chose Michael. The both of them have been training really well. Got James Rogerson coming behind him, been training really, really well as well. So at the end of the day, Michael's got the shirt at the moment. He had that last season, the same thing. So, you know, it's like Donald's got the right back position at the minute. Faz has got a centre half position. So if they come off it and they don't play to a consistent level and perform, then that position or any position is always under jeopardy.
Popula obviously scored in the last round. It was his first start for the club. How high are your hopes for him?
They have been since he broke into the broke into the team. I'd say since he comes to the forefront. So he scored a load of goals at youth level. So that's youth level. So what you got to do is you got to bring him forward and give him his chance. And he's had his chance at times, you know, in the Virtue again, or the Papa John's, whatever it was called at the time, and scored the goal. He's coming against Tranmere and scored a goal, which was good. But he's got to show that consistent level of performance. So he's got you know, people just see him maybe just scoring a goal. You know, at the end of the day, you know, if you can do that and do that regularly, then happy days. But it's a whole performance for a centre forward's point of view. So he's got to link the play up, he's got to be able to run him behind. He's a very good player, he's a young lad, he's still learning the game, and he hasn't half come on, to be honest. So now we're going to start bringing him a little bit more onto the game. Whether he starts the game, that'll be on him in terms of how he performs in training.
You clearly see the potential in him.
Oh, you can say, I think everyone can see the potential. You know, I thought he'd done really, really well against Oldham. So happy for him to score the goal. You know, and as I said, he trains against Farran Rawson, that is, day to day, and he's bringing him on. You know, Faz is like the teacher when he schools all the lads around him, and he's having a physical battle, you know, and he's finding a way out to beat Faz. So if you're going to do that, then, you know, he's obviously learning on the job, which is good for us.
And an ideal attitude as well, I guess.
Oh, he's a good kid. He's got a great attitude. He wants to learn. You know, he's always asking questions and stuff. So, and that will only bode well for him going forward.
John, I think every time I come here, I ask you about Sean Worley. From what you've said about his injury situation, it sounds a bit complicated. Is that the case? It's like his tendon or like a bit of a strain. It's more than a strain, I think. So it's going to be a few weeks for Sean. So as I said, it's like the age of the player. Everyone recovers differently, don't they, and whatever. So the medical have to put a date on it whenever that is. But we're not rushing him back. He's got to take his time. Like anyone, I've always been consistent since it took over in terms of last season. With if anyone's feeling anything, I don't want it to turn into months and months and months. So, you know, at the end of the day, we have to look after the players, whatever that is. Is that your biggest frustration at the start of the season, that you were without your talisman?
Yeah, it is. I think it'd be frustrating for anyone, wouldn't it? But at the end of the day, it's like lads have shown in pre-season that they can chip in with goals. So they have to stand up, and as I said, is when someone gets injured or someone comes off or gets suspended or whatever, it's an opportunity for someone else to take the shirt and then prove that they're worth. And you know, Kelsey scored against Oldham, Josh Woods has scored, and Joel Papula scored as well. So they now have to step up and score goals. But also not just the forward lads, but you know, you've got two wing backs who can get forward. I don't say they have to drop into a 5 all the time. And you've got two attacking number 8s or 2 6s, if you like, that can get forward and have shots and score goals and contribute.
As fit as he is, do you have to give a 38-year-old a little bit more time to recover from such an injury? Because you don't want to do any more damage. Yeah, well, that's the case. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, you get the scan results back and what have you, and then the medical, it's over to them and all their expertise and how they rehab them and everything else that goes with that. So that's on their side. Possibly, yeah, you maybe have to. But Sean is a specimen. You know, he looks after himself. He's an unbelievable athlete, and that's why he's still playing at the age he's playing. What's the latest with Ben Woods? Ben Woods is his finger, so he's actually dislocated his finger, but it's sort of twisted when he done it. So again, that's the trying to sort some sort of splint out for him. So that is, I know, you know, you have to just go day to day with that one till that gets sorted out. If that does get sorted out, could you have it available this week? Oh yeah, soon as it is. Yeah. So it could be this week, it could be next week. I don't really know. So that's when he goes to see the specialist to get whatever he needs getting done to his finger. I.e. like a splint or whatever that is. Ben Ward's not been involved? What? Ben Ward's training today, Dan Martin's training today, Tyler Walton's training today. So again, medically, get them to the training session and then we sit down, have a chat over that, and then let's see where they are in terms of, are they in contention for tomorrow, are they in contention for Saturday? Barres has got this suspension. How long does that last? Joe, this will be his last game, hopefully, and he'll be available for Saturday. Just overall, John, in conclusion, how have you seen the start to the season? Are you happy with the output of the players? 100%. So not just the start of the season, just the pre-season. So the pre-season's gone really, really well. All the tough challenges that we had, all the games that we had, all the opponents that we played against was really, really good. Everything that we put into the players in and out of possession has worked a treat in terms of what we've seen. I think the fans can see the identity of the team. And then obviously you start the season, and then if you want to judge it on last season, we've improved. And you've got a few players who last season stepped out of non-league, this season again. Does it take time for players coming out of non-league to step into the league? I think it does, doesn't it? You know, it's the levels and everything else. But you can give them time. Sometimes they hit the ground running. I think in terms of Isaac and Freddie, I think they've hit the ground running in the pre-season games, and I think Freddie, you've seen, he's made his debut Saturday against
Crew, and then you've got Isaac who done that the week before against Gillingham, and I think the both of them are outstanding.
The transfer window's still open, of course. Do you know how many more players you want in?
Yeah.
How many is that?
Well, I'm going to say, am I? So, you know, we've got a small squad, so we need to get the players in that I need to get in. So if we're going to start sitting here and telling everyone what I need, then all of a sudden, you know, it's going to be a difficult job to do.
Is it a hard market this time?
I think it is, Adam. Yeah, it's difficult. You know, it's been ongoing for since the window opened, to be honest. And you're speaking to clubs, and eventually it always comes down to money, or it always comes down to the player that you're speaking to, the position that you're speaking to, going somewhere else.
Have you got players who are on a free training with you at the moment, without naming names?
Yeah. So we've had that since, again, the window opened, so, you know, lads have come and gone, and lads are still here.
Right. So that's a potential avenue.
Yeah, it is. Well, it has to be for us. You know, that's what we look at. We look at under 21 players, we look at free players, you know, and non-league players, and it's always worked out quite well over the years for the club, and may that continue.